The K1200R, one of the most powerful motorcycles ever built by the Bayerische Motorenwerke. The company also known as BMW.
They go back way to the early part of the century, so they were one of the pioneers.
Pioneers who first dreamt of flying.
BMW started as an aircraft engine company in the First World War.
But after the war, BMW needed a new business.
In 1923, they decided to produce a motorcycle.
"40 years later, they almost quit.
BMW in the late 60s almost stopped producing motorcycles.
But BMW couldn't quit. They had become obsessed with innovation and engineering.
BMW has led technology, and they have in cars, and they have in bikes, and you always wonder what next year is going to bring from BMW.
BMW's unique designs earned a reputation for reliability.
Back in the 50s, everything broke frequently, and BMWs broke far less than everything else.
BMW also built a reputation for combining craftsmanship with technology.
Old war craftsmanship plus the high-tech thing. And I think BMW blends those two things really well.
A blend that is uniquely Bavarian.
You see a motorcycle, you know what it's for, you know what kind of riding you want to do with that bike. You can see what's unique about the motorcycle.
Why did BMW start and then almost stop making motorcycles? How did they become fixated on innovation? And what does all their new technology mean to the motorcycle world? Garmisch-Partenkirchen, a fairy tale town in the Bavarian Alps. The town is more than 1,100 years old. It sits below the Zugspitze, the highest mountain in Germany. Its summit rising 10,000 feet from the valley floor. Less than 2 hours from Munich, Bavaria is where BMW motorcycles were born. What would become BMW was originally the Rapp Motor Works, a Bavarian company founded by a young German engineer in 1913. In 1916, the company changed its name to BMW. Its focus was on the blue skies above Bavaria. The company built airplane engines, not motorcycles.
BMW started as an aircraft engine company in the First World War.
One of BMW's first innovations was a new fuel system for airplanes that allowed them to fly higher than ever before. In 1919, a BMW-powered plane set the world altitude record of 32,000 feet. But the end of World War I was almost the end of BMW.
After the war, in Germany it was not longer allowed to produce aircrafts and aircraft engines.
Unable to make airplane engines, BMW was on the verge of going out of business. They rebuilt part of their factory but lost money trying to make brake systems for trains. But they knew how to make great engines and got the idea to build a new motor and then put it into a motorcycle.
And BMW needs, at this time, a new business. In 1923, they decide to produce a motorcycle.
Turning desperation into action, BMW told one of their young engineers, Max Fritz, to design a motorcycle. It was something he had never done before. He was a genius with aircraft design, so they took the risk that he might be able to do the same with motorcycles.
Max Fritz, he was responsible for the aircraft engines in the First World War. And he decided to design a motorcycle with the same quality as the aircraft engines at this time. That's the beginning of the BMW motorcycle history.
To escape the company's sense of financial doom and gloom, Max left Munich. Locking himself away in a small Bavarian cottage, he worked day and night. And in an unbelievable 4 short weeks, he emerged with plans that would prove to be BMW's salvation. A motorcycle called the R32. Nothing like it existed in the 1920s. It was the first real motorcycle. The R32 was a revolutionary motorcycle. It had a unique engine, 2 pistons laid flat 180 degrees apart. The technical name was a twin-cylinder, horizontally opposed, 4-stroke engine. BMW nicknamed the design a boxer. And the first BMW didn't have a bicycle-type chain connected to the rear wheel like other motorcycles of the time. Instead, it had a drive shaft, the same thing that connects a motor to the wheels in a car.
They look a little funky at first, but I think that design, which goes way back, is pretty endearing after a while. And functionally, it's superb.
Eventually, the engine layout and shaft drive of the very first BMW would become known as typically BMW, because both designs are still being used today.
The basic underlying design stayed the same, and I think it's a design that grows on you.
BMW's innovative designs were made famous by a man named Ernst Henne, one of the greatest motorcycle racers ever.
In 1929, he broke the first record for BMW. It was about 216 kilometers per hour in here near Munich on a normal road.
"216 kilometers an hour equals 134 miles an hour on a motorcycle in 1929.
You can jump on the Autobahn today and go over 100 miles an hour, 120, 130, 140, and it'll definitely get your attention. But to have done it 70 years ago on a bike with antiquated tires and suspension, shocking to even think about.
The 1929 speed record of 134 miles an hour changed everything for BMW.
It was the beginning of a BMW role as a global player and not a small Munich company. So I think